how air is liquefied. Simply a matter of compression. You use Boyle's law. It says the temperature multiplied by the pressure equals the pressure multiplied by the volume equals the absolute temperature times a constant. This is the way you liquefy air. You compress it, you increase the pressure, you keep the volume constant, which is a density constant. When you increase the pressure, you increase the temperature, you use heat transfer. This part on the side here, this is the cooling system. This is what you call it air evaporation. It uses water evaporation to cool the secondary water cycle. The primary water cycle takes the heat from the tank after the air is compressed. It deposits or it removes the heat in that side heat transfer portion, the cooling part. Where does the heat go? The heat goes on the water, converts the water into vapor. Look at the top. Whatever comes from the top is the heat that was taken away from the compressed air to the water. And what happens when you compress the air, you keep compressing and cooling or removing the heat by water, converting water into steam. When you compress the air, you have about 80% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, and a very small fraction of argon. When you keep cooling it, the first layer that liquefies, you can separate it from the gas by just draining it. So you can separate the hydrogen from oxygen by thermal differential or heat, temperature, variation in temperature, or phase change. When it becomes liquid, you drain it. You keep compressing until you get the second gas to liquefy. That way, you are not going to have 100% nitrogen, pure nitrogen, but you can keep working on it until you make it clean nitrogen. If you need clean nitrogen, and you will not have 100% pure oxygen. But the simple process here is using compressors, and you have to have a very heavy steel container that can tolerate the pressure, and you take the heat from the compressed gas, you remove it into that part. So ask yourself, how does the temperature of the air drops to extremely lower the liquid? You're liquefying nitrogen and oxygen by compression, using water as a coolant. You're removing the heat to the air by converting water into steam. Because of the tank is so strong, the steel tank is so strong, it can keep the gas at very high pressure at the ambient temperature. But if you release the gas, if you release that gas, the hydrogen or the oxygen outside, it will become extremely cool because it expands. The Boyle's law of gas kinetics, simply the pressure times the volume of the gas equals the absolute temperature multiplied by the gas constant, R. This is the whole process of creating or separating nitrogen from air, oxygen, argon. You will have very little carbon dioxide.